Over. Here we go. All right. Hi, welcome everyone to our Yoga for Everybody class. My name is Skyla Ramirez. In our 50 to 55-minute session today, you may want to have a yoga block, a pillow, or even a blanket to create a little more comfort in your practice. Keep in mind that as long as you are breathing, you're doing yoga. The breath is the foundation by which all other processes, all movement, all emotions, and all thoughts are regulated by the life force. So just keep breathing. During the duration of this class today, you're going to be given a lot of opportunities to explore different breathing techniques and different movements. You are, in its essence, creating your own personal practice as you go by experimenting with these different physical suggestions. So let's go ahead and get started. I'd like for us to go ahead and start lying on our backs today with our knees bent. And you are more than welcome to stay seated upright if you notice you're able to breathe a little easier that way. All right. So let's take a moment and come to lying down. If you're seated, there are some safe ways that we might want to experiment in lying down. So usually we recommend that if you are seated on the floor, that first you go ahead and turn your knees to one side and then come down to lying down and then roll over onto your back. So we're lying on our back with the knees bent. And then from here, if you want, take your feet out as wide as your yoga mat, then let your knees touch. So your knees are going to come in and touch. Let's place our hands on top of our belly. As we inhale, we're simply allowing the navel to rise as the lungs fill with the breath. Big inhale through the nose as much as possible. And then exhale from your throat and let your body sigh. Maybe even make that breath audible when you exhale. Let's try this a few more times. Inhaling in through your nose as deeply as possible. Big breath in. And then exhale. Exhale from the throat. Try to make the stomach muscles move with your breath. As we inhale, we're pushing the stomach up. And then exhale, the belly is just going to drop with no effort at all. Let's try that just a couple more times. Inhale, belly deep into the breath. And then exhale, maybe one or two more. If you know that your body, maybe your mind, maybe the emotional body, the part of us that feels, if you know that any part of you is dragging in some sort of a weight today, some sort of stress, some sort of tension. It could be a physical illness. It could be an emotion that is uncomfortable and lingering, or it could just be some sort of a thought that you want to push out because that thought could be causing anxiety or depression or stealing your peace. Whatever it is, we want to let it go. Now, in those cases where we're not able to let go, just focus on your exhale. The body shows us how to let go effortlessly and so beautifully with every exhale. Take in a big breath. Go ahead and bring up anything that you might have brought into class with you today. And now trust the breath. Let it go. Let's try that two more times. Inhale, acknowledging anything that might be stealing your peace, and then let it go. You don't have to let it all go. If you want to keep a little bit, that's okay. Let's do one more. Big inhale. And now let it go. When you're ready, let's separate our knees. Draw those knees in towards your chest and maybe take the knees out wide so that you're able to pull the legs towards your shoulders and armpits. I'm holding on behind my thighs or behind my knees. This is a precaution that we like to take in yoga classes so that we don't put too much force on the knee joint unknowingly. From wherever you are, draw those knees back, pushing either behind the knee or onto the thigh, and add in a gentle rock side to side. Let's find the breath. Once that movement is familiar to the body, we focus again on the exhale. Inhale into the nose. Exhale with a sigh. Just a couple more. When you're ready, bring it to center. There's no rush in this. Let's stretch our legs, point and flex the feet. Maybe even circle the ankles, circle the feet a little bit. It's pretty common to hear little snap, crackle pops now and then from the body when we move. You might hear it now with your feet. Later on, you might hear it in your hips. As long as there's no pain or uncomfortable sensations, these are considered normal. As we're doing yoga, there's going to be air and fluid moving through the body. Lots of air moving through the body. So just know that if you happen to experience a little bit of flatulence, that is normal. When you're here, come to a still point. Go ahead and come to a still point. Let's see the feet at hips width. Draw the knees in close. Let's drop just our left foot down to the floor. Hold that right knee in. Exhale. Inhale, release the right foot. Exhale, left leg in. Inhale, release. Exhale, other leg. Let's keep this movement. Keep alternating the knee pull into your chest. We're pulling in on the exhale. This is called a wind relieving pose. So it can facilitate the release of gas from the body. Don't hold it in. Whatever you do, don't hold it in. Let's keep this rhythm and notice the angle of the knee. You're bringing it straight in, straight towards the chest, not to the armpit, not to the middle, but straight in. We want to get this gentle contraction activated in your lower stomach. This is not only facilitating the movement of air in the body, but also can be helping to facilitate better digestion, better elimination, or more quality elimination. Let's do one more on each side. Sighs with an exhale. Let those feet come down. Let those knees sway left and right. Exhaling when you twist. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. You can put the hands out beside you like a T with the palms on the floor. You could put the hands lower down to take tension out of your shoulder and neck. Keep pressing into the earth with your hands, grounding the body energetically. Exhaling, twist. Exhale, twist. Even this up for your body. When you feel that it's even on left and right, bring it to center. Let's see those knees at hip width. Maybe draw the knees in to see the knees at hip width, then place the feet down and feel what it is to be at hip width distance. Let's take our arms overhead. Elbows are slightly bent. Reach over, gentle stretch. Now, as you're reaching back, notice if your middle back or your stomach wants to arch off the floor. This is known as a restorative fish pose. We're keeping the chin in towards the chest, soft through the back of the neck. When you're ready, lower your middle back, lower your ribs. Let's bring the hands down beside the hips, palms down to the floor. Inhale, push into the feet and lift the hips into bridge. Exhale, hips come down, arms lift up. Maybe reach and pull up your ribs. Press your hips down into the floor. When you're ready, lower the hands, relax the spine. Inhale, push into the feet, lift the hips, bridge pose. Let's hold it in bridge, just another couple easy breaths, strengthening the muscles in the hips, working on bone density as well, strengthening the bones in the ankles up to the knees and the thighs. Let's lower down. Last, stretch with the arms, reach it back. Pull the ribs up, push your hips down, maybe even tilt that pelvis back a little bit. Big inhale around the heart. And now exhale, lower your hands, press the palms down, push into the feet, lift the hips. Let's squeeze the glutes, bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sharvangasana. All that means bridge. One more big inhale. And now exhale, slowly lower down. From here, let's bring our hands behind the head. You might want to lace your fingers together and hold the thumbs down by the nape of your neck. Let's add in a gentle belly contraction. Exhale, pull the navel in, pull that navel up, and maybe just come up 1 inch. And then relax. We're just going to do the smallest possible contraction in the belly. Inhale. Exhale, relax, pull that navel in, and maybe pull the ribs, lift the head just 1 inch or less, and relax. Inhale, exhale, pull the navel in, pull the ribs in, 1 inch, relax. Let's just do one more. Big inhale, exhale, ribs in, navel in, tight core, little lift, and relax. From there, go ahead and let your knees sway a little. Notice if it feels more comfortable for you to roll to the left or the right. Let that twist lead you into a side lying position, rolling over onto one side. From here, we're using our top hand to slowly guide us up. Easy does it so that our blood pressure stays happy. You can come up to seated for our cat and cow movement, or bring it around into all fours for cat and cow flow. Placing both hands flat on the floor, maybe using your fist, a fist with the thumbs forward. You could even do this on your elbows, and you could come to a chair with your elbows on the chair. That way your head isn't hanging down so much. So go ahead and find a foundation for your body. We want your knees to be as happy as possible, your shoulders, your wrist, all to be as happy as possible with this. It may not feel perfect, but move towards comfort. When you're ready, push the hips back, drop your belly, and then lengthen through the head and the neck into cow. As you exhale, pull the navel up, round the spine, drop your head into cat. Let's inhale, hips go back, head forward, salt gaze. Exhale, round the spine and drop your head. Let's do maybe 3 more. Inhale, extension. Exhale, contraction. Adding in our breath, if we're not already, inhale through the nose, and then exhale with that sigh from the throat. Let's come to all fours position. And if you're seated on the floor or in a chair, so you can be seated in a chair, or you can come down to seated on the floor with your legs bent for the next few movements. If you're staying in all fours, you're taking your left leg back. Now, if you're seated or on the floor, just lift your left foot off the floor. Let's bring the right arm straight forward. And now bring the limbs in, back to center. Inhaling, right leg lift. Option to extend that leg. Left arm forward. So we have opposite arm, opposite leg extension. And now both arms in. Let's keep that rhythm, matching it to our breath. Inhale, lengthen, opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhale, center. Switch sides. Inhale, lengthen. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhale, center. Let's do maybe 3 or 4 more. And go ahead and move at your own pace with this. Noticing the breath, inhaling extension, exhale gentle contraction, inhale extension, exhale contraction. Even this up for your body on left and right. When you feel that it's even for your body, you can simply press back, finding child's pose. So from seated, maybe you just curl your head down and forward. And if you're all the way down on the floor, let those hips sink back towards your heels, and you can reach the arms out. You could even draw them in or rest your head. Let's focus on breathing, no matter where you are with this. Breathe down into the back of your lungs. So breathe into your low back. Let that breath move up to your middle back. Let that breath come up to the spaces under your shoulder blades and behind the heart. Exhale, relax your heart, relax your middle ribs, relax your low back. Let's do that one or two more times. This is a breathing technique, working with the art of awareness, guiding the breath into your low back, middle back, upper back. And exhale, relax everything. From all fours, go ahead and come around into a seated position, and we'll all meet in any seated position. So I'm sitting in what is called Supine, also known as the easy seated pose. Now, people will argue whether or not this should be called an easy seated pose because it can be quite strenuous on your knees and ankles. Go ahead and experiment with where you are comfortable in a seated position. I'm going to grab my blanket real quick. I'm just noticing that my hips might want just a little more cushioning today. So in Sukhasana, you can have your knees really high. You can have one leg out. So establish an easy seat for your body before we progress with any other movements. Once you find that place, remember, you can change your mind at any time as muscles begin to loosen and as things move around. You may need to shift that easy seated expression. Let's begin with the arms, opening the palms, pull the elbows back, inhale, reach up and overhead, fingertips towards the sky, and then exhale, sweep it back and around. Just nice big flying arms. Inhale, fly the arms up. Exhale, fly the arms back and around. Option to close the eyes when you do this. Once we see the movement and practice it, close the eyes to feel it. Beginning to identify with postures based on how we feel them to exist in our bodies, rather than comparing it to some sort of an image of perfection. Inhaling, reaching, last one. Exhale, take it back. Let's take just the left arm up, just your left arm. Take it up and reach as if you're holding on to 100 helium balloons. Push your left hip down and maybe lean just a little bit over to the right. I have my right hand down on the floor, just outside my right hip. So as I lean to the right, I can press down into my hand, or you could be on your fingertips or even on your fist. Let's pull up from that left armpit. Breathe into your upper left lung. Big inhale. Maybe close your eyes, maybe turn your head over to the right. Let's allow the body to work gracefully with gravity. Pressing the breath up against the side ribs. One more inhale, pull up. And then exhale, bring that arm down. So take a moment, just sit still and notice, do you feel different from left to right? Maybe Giving a little more language to it. Do you feel more open on the left side? If you don't, that's okay. It is common to sort of feel a little different from left to right after that stretch. Let's try the other side, turning the right palm up, your right palm. Pull that right elbow back, sweep the arm up to the sky. Take the left hand down on the floor outside your left hip. Push that right hip down. Inhale, pull up from the rib, holding on to 100 helium balloons. Let's turn and look over to the left, being kind to the body, working with gravity. Now breathe against your upper right lung. Remember that sigh, that audible exhale. Big inhale through the nose. And then exhale. Let's try one or two more. Inhale, reach a little more from the armpit, allowing that breath to open us just a little more. When you're ready, let's slowly let that arm come down, both hands down to the floor. Fingertip light. Take the fingers out beside your hips, and we're just going to rock a little bit forward and back. So we're introducing a little more energy with weight bearing into the hips and into the spine this way. Just giving the body time to check in for any tender spots. Maybe close your eyes, and as you're rocking, let's find a breath that matches that rocking movement. Exhale forward. Inhale up and back. Exhale forward. Inhale up and back. Exhale forward. And back. Feel for where your body is establishing center. At what point do you notice you feel like you're sitting tall? So maybe you make the movement a little smaller. And as the movement gets smaller, there's time for us to really refine those feelings. Where do we feel completely centered, or where do we feel the weight balanced for our bodies today? Let's take our left arm up and overhead, big breath in. And as you exhale, twist from your navel and lower that hand down outside your right thigh. Maybe walk the right hand behind you a little bit in the twist. Inhaling, taking that left arm up, taking the right arm up. Let's exhale, twist it over to the left. Left hand down, right arm across, looking over the right shoulder. So that twist is really spiraling up through your body from the navel, through the center of the heart, all the way up through the middle of the brain, and then energetically out the crown of your head. When you're ready, take the right arm up, left arm up. Let's try this a few more times on each side. Exhale, both arms down, twisting to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist it over to the left. So the movement is a little faster. Once we rehearse it slow, we introduce just a little more momentum. We're waking up that pranic force, waking up the energy, the life force that sustains us through the day. One more to each side. Inhaling overhead, we have that stretch to the right. And when you're ready, slowly bring it to center. Feeling like that energy is even. You can move the trunk of your body around a little bit. Let's think about how we might want to make our way up into standing. Those of you who are familiar with the class know that there is a standard transition that we use that helps to reduce risk of injury to the body. So my disclaimer is, if you have been specifically instructed by a doctor or a physician to move in a specific way, please continue on with your physician's advice. I'm going to introduce some alternative movements. You're welcome to experiment with it. And as always, it's at our own risk, but I do guarantee this, we're going to move slow. And I really have never heard anyone say, I moved so slow that I hurt myself. I've never heard that. So we're just going to transition really slow. First of all, we need to reposition those leg bones, and maybe we have our hands beside us and we just let those knees sway a little bit left and right. We just want to be sure those hips haven't locked up on us. We need a lot of hip mobility. When you're ready, let those knees go over to one side, whichever side is more comfortable. And then it's recommended that we bring ourselves around. Now, I have a chair right here that I'm able to use in my practice. So either keeping both hands on the floor or using a prop. We take one leg forward and then we tuck our back toe, lift that back knee. I'm going to place my free hand on that supporting thigh and then step forward. From here, let's relax our head and neck, shake the head, yes, turn it left and right. So now here we are, we're on our feet. Next thing to think about is our blood pressure. Let's bring the hands to the thighs first and come up about halfway. We don't have to come up very tall, and then eventually come up all the way. So we're going to make our way all the way up into standing. All right. Now from our standing position, we're able to shake out our knees, kick out your feet. From standing, let's take our feet into hips width distance. As you inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, flying arms from standing, and then exhale, sweep the arms back. Let's do this a couple more times. Big inhale through the nose, and then exhale from the mouth. 2 more, inhale up, exhale back. Last one, and back. Let's bring our hands together at the heart, stepping the left foot back a short stride. Keep a bend in that right knee. Inhale, open your hands as if you're saying, welcome, and then pull the elbows back towards your ribs. Palms are facing up. It's similar to like holding a couple of serving trays. You have both palms out by your hip, a little bit away from your body. When you're ready, palms together, step forward. Inhaling, right foot back, bending the left knee, open the palms, look up. Exhaling, stepping forward, palms together. Now, maybe we continue to move really slow with this, or maybe we encourage just a little more movement, choreographic to your breath. So from here, we can inhale, left foot back, right knee is bent, arms open, look up. Exhale, come forward. Inhaling, right foot back, arms open, look up, little bend in that left knee, and then come forward. Let's keep that rhythm. If you happen to miss a step, or maybe your body says, I don't want to bend my knee, or I don't want to straighten my leg, that's okay. Just allow the body to continue to adapt and to interpret based on your breath. Move on the inhale, move on the exhale, not getting too nitpicky about the movement, but rather thinking about syncing it up. Breath and body, inhale. Think about the inhale, find the exhale, step forward. Mind, body, breath in balance. Think about the inhale, step back. Exhale forward. Let's even it up on both sides. Left foot back. Last one, right foot back, inhale. And bring it forward. Let's take a moment to look down at our feet, seeing that the edges of the feet line up with the flesh of your hip. This is hip width distance. Maybe if you're standing on a yoga mat, the edges of the feet also line up with the edges of your mat. They're parallel. This is just a foundation to start with. You can shift at any time. Let's keep those knees soft. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Push your hips back with the knees bent, sitting back into chair pose. Inhale, arms come up. And now to the heart, hips go back. Spine is long, flat back. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, long spine, hips go back. We say flat back, but really there's a little bit of a curve in your low back. Lift through the heart. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, flat back, come down. Let's place the hands on our thighs. Exhale, rounding the spine, standing cat. Pull the hips in and drop the head. Inhale, arms stay lengthened. We're pressing back through the hips and lengthening the spine. Standing cow. Exhale, standing cat. Hips forward, rounded spine. Inhale, standing cow. Exhale, standing cat. Inhale, standing cow. Now, most of the time, in most of our poses, we're probably going to appreciate the reminder of cow pose. There are a lot of poses that we'll do today that require more of a long spine. And whenever I say, or whenever you hear like cow pose, this is what we're talking about. The hips are back, the spine is lifted. It is a back bend. When you're ready, come up to standing. Let's take those shoulders up, back, and down, palms facing out. Let's step our left foot back, a short stride, keeping the right leg straight. Inhale, both arms sweep overhead. Big breath in, reach up. As you exhale, bring the elbows down with the palms forward. We call it cactus or goal post arms. With those goal post arms, bend the right knee and lean forward. Remember cow pose here. Flip your hips back and pull the ribs up. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Reach the arms straight up overhead. Push down into that left foot. Exhale, bring it down. Palms forward, bending the right knee. Looking beyond the top of your yoga mat, past your feet. Inhale, reach it up. This is a variation on Warrior One. And then exhale forward, pull it down. Let's try one more. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, pull it down. Keeping that bend in the right leg. Let's take both hands onto the right thigh. Cow pose, push the hips back, lengthen through the spine. Maybe hold it right here or start walking the hands past the knee joint towards the floor, relaxing the neck and the head, shaking the head yes, turning it left and right. Exhale from your throat. Big inhale through the nose. Really throw the breath out from your body. Big inhale and big exhale. When it feels right for you, so notice that when it feels right for you, stay here if your body loves this. Otherwise, bring the hands to the shin first, straighten the arms. Maybe we bring the hands onto the thigh. We pause right there. Happy blood pressure. And then take it up to standing. Let's step forward with that left foot. Shake off the knees. We'll take a moment to center that energy in the body. Feet at hips width. Knees are soft. Inhale, fly the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Hips go back into chair. Maybe 3 or 4 more. Option to close the eyes. We've seen it. The body has done it. Let's feel that pose. Feel the movement. What part of your body might be working the hardest here? It's not always the physical body. Is it the breath? Is it your brain? Are you working hard to stay focused? There's no right or wrong. Just simply engage in the art of awareness. What part of you is working hard here? Let's do one more. Inhale, sweeping arms. And then exhale down. Let's stand tall. Tadasana, strong mountain expression. Shoulders are down and back. Palms are open. Feet at hips width. Stepping our right foot back, a short stride. Bending that left knee just a little bit. I'm going to turn to the side to give you a side view. So notice I don't have a very long stride here. This base of support can vary. Usually the longer your stride, the greater the risk of falling. So I keep a short stride here and a little bend in that front knee. When you're ready, inhale, arms come up, straightening that leg. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the elbows down, come forward. Remember cow pose. Push your hips back, open through the chest. Inhale, bring it up, big breath in, straighten both legs. Reach up. Exhale, pull it down. Heavy exhale from the throat, audible sigh. Throw the breath out from your body. Really pull those muscles in. It's almost like a cough sometimes. Let's try one more. Heavy exhale. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, hold it in that down position. Both hands onto that thigh. Push the hips back. We're holding in that almost a cow-like expression with your spine today. Let's think about maybe we walk the hands down to the shin. If we have a chair or another yoga prop, you can always put the hands on that prop. Walking our hands past the knee joint towards the floor. Maybe they don't go to the floor, but towards the floor energetically. Hang loose, shake the head out, shake it yes, turn it left and right. Let's soften that left knee. Exhale from your throat. When it feels right, walk the hands to the shin, then the thigh. Pause, little blood pressure check, and then slowly come all the way up. Shoulders down and back. Let's step forward. Feet at hips width distance, centering the energy in the feet. Inhale, arms overhead. And then exhale, chair. Just two more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Let's walk our feet out wider than the hips, and you can even turn your toes out and heels in, similar to a plie position. Let's bend the knees, and we'll see that our knees are moving in the same direction as our toes. Now, if you want, you can shift a little bit left and right, and ultimately, the knees are moving in the same direction as the second, third, and fourth toe. So if your knee goes out to your pinky toe, that could be straining your arch of your foot. If your knee goes towards your big toe, that is a lot of strain on the knee. So we want to see that it is very specifically moving towards the second, third, and fourth toes, those three center toes. We want it to move that way. When you're ready, push the hips back. Hands come down to the thighs. Inhaling big into your nose. And now exhale, lion's breath. Stick your tongue out. Give that exhale a mighty roar. Let's do two more. Inhale, come up a little bit. Exhale out. Shake your head. One more, inhale. Mighty roar, let it out. When it feels right for you, slowly come up. We're inching the feet in nice and slow. Want to keep those knees happy, and then kick it off. if you want, go ahead and grab a sip of water at this time. You can even run to the bathroom real quick and come back. We're going to set up for our standing balancing pose today, which is dancer's pose. It's also known as a quadricep stretch. So there are some familiar movements in yoga that you may recognize from fitness classes, and this is one of them. Now, to do dancer's pose, I'd like to show you what the pose looks like traditionally, and we're going to explore adapting that posture so that it fits our body's personal needs, and we're going to stay within safe parameters with these movements. So traditionally, you would hold on to one foot, you could hold on to the outside or the inside of the foot, and then the other arm goes out and we lean forward. It's a pretty anatomically complex posture. We can capture the essence of that posture in a way that requires a lot less effort and less risk of injury. So let's start with thinking about maybe putting a hand on a wall or on a chair, and whatever leg is your inside leg to that support, you're going to keep that foot on the floor and keep that hand on your support. Let's shift our weight into that standing leg with the knee soft, and we're lifting the opposite knee. Go ahead and swing that leg forward and back a little bit. Let's just check in with that hip joint to see what's going on today. We may or may not be holding on to our foot eventually. When you're ready, swing the leg back, bend the knee. It's a hamstring curl from traditional fitness. And if you want, take your arm up, that free arm, and circle it back. It's a movement we've already practiced. As you circle back, you may find that you can grab your foot or your ankle. Now you can circle it back, or you can take it forward and around and hold on to the outside of your foot or ankle, either one. If you're noticing that it's creating like strain to hold on, you could always put your knee on a chair or on a support, and then you could hold on to that support and then just reach back. The next step is maybe take that hand off of your support and reach it out from the shoulder joint. The stretch is moving diagonal on the body. It's moving up and down the body. There's a lot going on here. One more big breath. And then exhale. Let go of your leg. Let's bring our hand to a supportive position. And let's get situated to do the other side. Here's my supporting hand. Whatever hand is supporting, that leg is going to stay on the floor. Let's lift the opposite leg and let that hip swing forward and back a few times. Just checking in. Keep a soft bend in your standing leg. When it feels right for you, swing that leg back. Maybe circle your arm and hold on to your foot or your ankle, inside or outside. Your body gets to choose on this. Really, your shoulder gets to choose where that hand goes. The hand position is really intimately connected to your shoulders here. Keeping the body soft, remember, you could put your foot up, your knee up on a chair and reach back. No matter where you are with this, the next option is to take that hand away from that support. If you're by a wall, walk it up on the wall. Maybe take it away altogether. Stretching up diagonal, stretching up and down. Exaggerate the inhale into your upper chest. Bow out your chest like a proud bird. One more. When you're ready, let's relax our supporting hand and our foot. Shake everything out. Woo, all right. Now, just like getting up, there are ways to come down to the floor that can make life a little easier for us. And again, if you have a physician's instruction, you're going to go with what they say. So if you're here to learn some different ways to move, I like to use a chair. I'm bending the knees, hand on the chair, one on the thigh. I'm taking one foot back and slowly coming down. Easy does it on those knees. When you're ready, the other knee comes down, and then we can come to all fours. From all fours, let's get off those knees. We're gonna let our hips come down and find seated again. This time as we come into seated, we're moving into butterfly pose. It's absolutely one of my favorite postures. I'm gonna change the camera just a little bit so that maybe y'all can see me a little more down here on the floor. Let's see if I can change this up. This is a little better. There we go. Okay, so from seated on the floor, we're gonna touch our toes together and then let the knees come out to the side. Butterfly. You can hold on to your feet. You can put the hands on the sides of your knees if you want. This does stretch the inner thigh and the inner parts of the hip. If you know that your back has been tender or sensitive lately, bring those knees up a little bit. You could even use some blankets or pillows under each knee to support the hip joint and your low back. And really using the pillows and the blankets under your knees makes this pose absolutely delicious in my opinion. No matter where you are with this, with your hands, with your legs or your knees, inhale and imagine cow pose. So the hips are flipping back, we're leading with the navel, and then we lead forward and up with the heart. There's just a gentle back bend to give this posture an initial spark. Inhale, exhale. You might want to stay here or inhale and then exhale from that lean forward in your spine, leaning forward. Eventually relax. You can round the upper back a little bit, not too much. And then we think about breathing along the backs of your lungs. So breathe down into your low back, into your middle back, into that space behind the heart and under your shoulder blades. Maybe close your eyes, and just before you inhale, feel that your body is opening to receive the breath. So there's less effort. There's less grasping for the life force, grasping for what sustains you, but rather there's this energetic stance of just feeling open to receive and trusting that which you need to sustain you. It's coming. You just have to be open to receive it. Energetically, this energy is emerald green. So as we exhale, we pause, we feel the back of the body open, and maybe you just feel a wave of green light rushing into your body. And then let it go. And people often say, well, what color is it when we let it go? It's also green. You can just go with green. So inhale, receiving green, and then exhale, green light. This posture with this breath, with this imagery symbolizes an intimate, energetic exchange of give and take. It represents the exchange of being able to receive great love and to give great love. Let's do one more. Big breath in. And then exhale. When you're ready, slowly lift your head. Go ahead and let those knees come in. We're going to take this onto our backs again, down onto the floor. We're moving into just a couple of final postures lying on our backs before we close in our class today. Go ahead and get anything that your body might want to be comfortable. If you know that your feet get a chill, or maybe you get a little cold and relaxation, be sure you have those blankets nearby. I am going to use my blanket as a pillow for the next couple of movements. When you're ready, let's lie down. Let's roll onto our backs again. I have a blanket that I'm putting under my feet, but you could have your feet on the floor. Let's touch our toes together with the knees bent on the floor, and just take your left knee out to the side. I have my hands on my stomach, but you could put them on the floor, or you can put both hands on your right hip while that left knee goes out. So just a very gentle stretch, and maybe think about breathing from your left hip. Pull that breath all the way up to your right lung. And then let it go. One or two more like that. When you're ready, you might want to just stay here. I mean, if we're noticing an imbalance in the body, we may need to do different things on different sides of the body to eventually balance us. So you can stay here. Otherwise, let's bring that left knee up. Reposition your hands for support. Right knee is going to go out to the side. Supine half butterfly. You could even push down on that left hip, anchor that energy down. And now tune into an energy that moves into your right hip with your breath. Inhale. It's going to rise across your body, across your belly, and it's going to go to your left shoulder. And as you exhale, just relax. At least two more. Again, you can stay right here. You can stay. Right, bending both knees. Supine butterfly, different from the seated expression. It can be very different. You could even take your hands up with the elbows bent if that's more comfortable. Breathe in through the hips. So imagine that the breath is received through your hips and it comes all the way up to your heart. And then as you exhale, it's a wave of energy that has an undertow in it. Pulls out from your heart, out from your belly, and it just sort of pulls out from your hips. And again, little to no effort with this. Inhale, receive that breath through your hips. Maybe it's green. And then exhale, watch it pull away. And maybe, we've talked about this breath like a wave of energy. So just like the waves, when you go into the ocean, sometimes there's a heavy undertow, heavier than other days. And you can feel that tug, that little energy of an undertow or a pull, a drag with your exhale. If you really watch for it, inhale, receive the wave of energy. And now exhale, imagine that energy is pulling out. Tighten the belly, feel that energy pull out from your hips. Soften through your pelvis, through your glutes and buttocks. You can stay right here for the next few minutes in final relaxation or stretch those legs out to the floor. I am using a blanket under my knees today with my heels on the floor. Go ahead and get comfortable. Remember, there's really no rules when it comes to finding comfort in these final minutes of our class. It's really about you noticing that you can affect change in your life right now. You have the right to do what is right for your body. You have the right to pursue comfort in your body, to move towards joy, to alleviate pain. And I don't need to see what position you're in or what pose you're doing. You don't need a reason to do what feels good for you. Just do it. Just do it. If we can make this decision on our mats to move towards comfort, this is a decision that we can make in other parts of our lives. Care for the physical body. There is value in comfort, so much value in comfort. As you get comfortable, start to imagine just gold light at the base of your feet, almost like a gold saucer down below your feet, no matter what position you're in. And then imagine a gold saucer of light, like a halo, above your head. Now maybe watch as these two lights begin to grow in intensity. It begins to illuminate the space from your head to your feet and from your feet to your head. That halo effect ultimately drapes your whole body in this warm gold light. If you don't see it, it's okay. Just sense the presence of a gold light. Or imagine that your body is in rays of warm gold sunlight. This gold light represents for us an energy egg. An egg, just like the eggs that we get from chickens. It is a gold energy egg around the body. It's not a porous shell, but rather it is an energetic field that protects us. And you can name it something else if you want, especially if you follow some sort of a religion or you have a spiritual practice. You might consider this the Holy Spirit. You might call this the protection of the universe. You can just say it's gold light. It's an energy that protects me. Aside from protection, there's also preservation in this energy egg. Preservation of all your goodness, all the patience, the compassion, and the grace. You are a container for so much goodness. And that goodness passes through that energy egg. It's filtered through that positive energy. Just breathe easy. Let's take a quiet minute and just breathe. Breathe in that space. Now start to breathe in gold light, breathe out gold light. Perhaps affirming as we close our practice today. You can repeat after me in your mind or say it out loud, or maybe just be open to receive this as a new way to look at the world or to look at life. Our affirmation is, I have all the love, all the peace, and all the power to heal me. I have all the love, all the power, and all the peace in me and around me to heal. Keeping in mind, healing and curing are two completely different things. We may never eradicate our illnesses. We may never eradicate our anxieties, depressions, sadness, and grief. Those things may never go away. But to heal means to come to a place where we feel we are living optimally with. We all have something that we live with. I have all the love, all the power, and all the peace in me and around me to heal. If you like, bring both hands over your heart wherever you are. And in closing today, we close with Namaste. My soul meets your soul. My joy is your joy. My pain is your pain. We are one. I'll see you all next week, everybody. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.